think of this new hat? I'll bet you don't even know what it means. It's probably my IQ. Welcome back to the Uncommon Professor podcast. Today I'm going to talk about can college be free? Yes, I'm caffeinated to the gills. That's how it works for me. Now, first things first. Up here, these are a couple of books I wrote, one on college success and one on a college shooting. I am intensely interested in safety on campuses. So the links are probably in this video. So go take a look at that if you wouldn't mind. So let me get right to it. Can college be free? You're a smart woman, you're a smart guy. Nothing's free. You already know that. Someone's going to pay for it. Your elementary school wasn't free. Neither was high school, neither was middle school. None of it was free. So the idea is, who's willing to pay for it? Is the government willing to pay for it? Because there are still operating costs at a university or a college. You already know that. But how can we make it free, for instance, to a parent? A parent's looking down the barrel of, I don't know, $100,000, $200,000, a lot of money to send your kid to college. So let's start here. I have heard of these programs, and I'm not talking about this, but this one time, my sister used to work for a giant corporation. She calls me up in a panic and says, hey, we're losing our worldwide webmaster. Can you come in as a contractor and do that? And I did, and it was worth money, and it was like 5 months, and I asked the guy, so where are you going? You're not going to webmaster anymore, or whatever they call it? He goes, nope, I'm going to be a dentist. No shit, you're going to be a dentist, really? How do you make that pivot in your career? He goes, well, this town got a hold of me, or I got a hold of them. It's a small town in the middle of nowhere, and they're willing to pay for me to be a dentist. Really? What's the catch? There's no catch. However, once I'm finished, I have to move to that small town and be the dentist there, I think, for 6 to 8 years. This is not what I'm talking about. I've heard of these programs, and they're actually kind of cool. No. This is what I'm talking about on a nationwide deal. I'm talking everybody. If college was free, you hear people talk about it all the time. You hear Bernie Sanders talk about it. College should be free. That was a pretty good imitation, wasn't it? Let me tell you how probably I would do it. And this is just me again. Don't want to get in trouble. Don't want to get canceled. That'd be bad. I ran into a guy, cardiologist, a long time ago, and he was telling me about going to college in Europe. And I said, well, how do they make it free? And first thing he said is nothing's free. But he said, look, here's how it works. And so what I'm telling you is my modified European model. He goes, they identify you. So for instance, let me give you for instance. I know this kid. I've known him since he was 5 years old. He's in college now, and he was in robotics forever. And I'm not talking about like buying a kit for your grandkid. I'm talking about this kid was in some serious robotics, national competitions, and the stuff they made was amazing. It was all applicative. One of the ones he did was clearing out irrigation pipes in orchards. It was a robot that would do that. I'm like, damn, dude, he's smart. So that's the kind of kid I'm talking about identifying. So let's say you've identified that kid. In Europe, around when you're a freshman, sophomore, you're either identified you're going to go to college or you're going to go to the trades, and we'll pay for both. So, and I'm not going to talk about trades. I'll talk about them in some other podcast because I'm all about micro, safety third. I'm all about that. But let's say you're identified to go to college. The next thing he told me was, okay, so what do you want to be? I want to be a civil engineer. Now let's step back for a second. Here's what happens. I want to make an example of how you get accepted as a PhD candidate to a university. They already know you're smart. They get it. There's a couple things they want to know. The first thing they want to know really is, will you finish? We need you to finish. We can't have you bailing in year 3 of 5 because you decided that you want to open a bakery for pirates. No. We want to know you're going to finish. That's a big deal. The second big deal is we want you to go somewhere when you're done. We want you to go to another university. We're not going to hire you. That's not how it works. Universities do not hire their own, typically. They don't eat their own, is what I've heard that term called. So imagine the same thing with your kid. You're a robotics kid, or it doesn't matter what they're going to be. So you want to be a civil engineer, huh? So that country would go out and go, how many civil engineers do we have? How many do we need? Not that the government's really good at things. If you could think of one, put it in the comments. So that will pretty much assure no comments. But how many civil engineers do we have? And where are they? And how old are they? Are they old people like me? Are they about to retire? Not me. However, I need to know that. And I kind of want to send you there because that area is going to be in need of civil engineers. Now, that doesn't always work. It seems to me it's kind of like you see nurses. And, oh, there's a huge nurse shortage. And then it seems like 3 years later, oh, there's too many nurses. And then there's another shortage. But the fact is, I will take you into my university and there will be no tuition, no books. I'll even house you because I know I have a need for civil engineers in this particular area because these guys are going to retire or this is going to happen. Now, here's a question I have for you. Would you take that deal? Would you take that deal? And so I'm not only talking about university, college. I'm talking about backing up into high school, middle school, elementary school, where you're thinking about it the whole time. Sophomore year in high school, you'll already know, will my kid go to college? Because it's going to be free. Would you take that? Would you roll those dice? Does a sophomore in high school actually know what they want to do? Now, and the kid I'm talking about, he's unusual. My older brother wanted to be a fighter pilot all of his life, since he was a fetus. I don't even know how that happened. So he can make that determination. This robotics kid can make that determination. Me? No chance. I was having too much fun in high school. So, could you make it free? Yeah, you could, based on that model. However, don't we already have that? It's called a scholarship. Yep. Show up at my school. I accepted you. I saw what you did. You started the robotics club at your high school. You went to national competitions. Yep, you're awesome. You had a 3.98 GPA or a 4.23, whatever those are. However the hell that happens. However, I'll pay for you. It's called a scholarship. And if you don't do what I want to do, keep your grades up the way I want them, I'm taking that scholarship back. That's very, very costly for a lot of people, especially all of a sudden the parent whose kid loses a scholarship. So, could college be free? In my estimation, the answer is yes, but you might not like it. And with the profitability, wow, that was a pretty good word. Would the profitability of universities go down? Yeah, they would. Everyone would be there simply for the same reason, as a preparatory time for whatever they want to do. Yeah. So am I saying the arts are bad? No, I'm not. Not saying that. Don't cancel me. Those are very, very valuable things. But free college would very likely be in the preparatory fields, business, engineering, nursing, doctors, stuff like that. I'm not sure how you would do that. In the arts, I would hope what you would do is say, wow, this is a talented musician and the Cincinnati Philharmonic needs a second violin. I think that would be just as important. So, what do you think? I'd like to know in your comments. I'd like to know what things that you could ask me as a college professor, as a college insider, of what you want to hear. Other than that, go have the greatest weekend of your life. Peace!